Welcome to the show, everybody. James Fritz joins me. Kentucky's own, by way of Chicago, and a couple of stop-offs in Minneapolis, Iowa, Des Moines. They have a casino there. And now he's in Los Angeles. A friend, a colleague, a former mentor, a future rival.
When was I a mentor?
We're going to get to that. We're going to get into my origin story. I made no preparation. Don't, James. Don't be funnier than me.
I just see a soundboard and I can't. Well, morning zoo guy, you know that.
That's true. That is your roots.
Zoo man.
Yeah, episode 200, by the way. We've done way more than 200. I have over the years, but welcome, James. Oh, by the way, album Still Together, available on iTunes and Bandcamp. Where's your album, James?
Fresh material. It's on all the sites that don't pay you.
Yeah.
You can order it from a specialthingrecords.com.
Okay. Yeah, good. Well, we should check that
AST
out.
Records.
Yeah.
Good label.
So I'd like to invite now I'm tripping all over myself here. We've got a lot to talk about, James. That is specifically you.
You tripping.
I just want to get into think of me as like bald Terry Gross, okay? With a
bald and gross. Got it.
Severe slate of mental disorders that are going to result in an early death. Okay, that would be because Terry Gross.
She's curious.
She's maximizing her
for
life.
The video, for the video watch, for the audio listener.
Yeah,
just clocking that just hot sauce. Just a bottle of hot sauce. Does that just hang out by you at all times?
Oh, this here? Yeah. This is an off-brand sriracha. I'm not sure how familiar you are with a thing called the supply chain, but we've had some issues this year or so with the original sriracha brand, the green cap. They had a breakup.
Oh, really? I didn't know about this.
All their stuff came from the same field, and apparently some supply thing disrupted it, or it was just some capitalism bullshit. And then it was off the shelves for a while because, as you know, communism causes shortages in products. And so there was, among many other things that weren't available to people. And then and then it was on the black market. It was being sold for like dozens of dollars. You'd go to eBay, a fucking 7.6, I don't know, the size, that size right there on eBay, $14, $15, maybe as high as $30 for a 2-pack, right? Ridiculous.
Why ain't there a white market?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. What did I say? eBay? Oh, the black market. Yeah. I was like, how does the white market relate to eBay? That's this guy's lost a step. And then it came back for a little while. So people are buying the green cap. I had started trying out some of the other ones, and it was all way too expensive anyway. I don't even think I deserve spice, honestly, with my income level.
Oh.
My degree of contribution to the
capitalist
cheap.
Machine. No, come on. Every good boy deserves spice.
Finish the sentence. So, anyway, yeah, but so this yellow cap one is a little bit better, and the green cap, the original, the turkey, like the Kleenex, so to speak, right? The top dog, the A&W.
Oh, okay.
Of it,
yeah, I
right?
Gotcha.
They are this big corporation, Hu Fong or something like that. But I guess their new formula is not the same physical field. It's not the same location that they'd had for years. So that now they're just been downgraded to some bullshit ass formula because it's like Coke lost like their best sugar or something like that.
Is that a Sledge-O-Matic?
What are you talking about? This guy?
Also, is that a Gallagher's Sledge-O-Matic?
Yep. I stole it from his grave. It was the last thing in there. Ironically,
people go and leave hammers at his grave like people do.
No, it was in his tomb. It was. I had to dig 6 feet down and open it.
That's cursed.
I know.
It's a cursed object.
I know. If I bonk you on the head
out of your house,
guess what? If I bonk you on the head with it, watermelon comes out of your mouth. Mostly seeds, though. That's how you know it's bad. So yeah, James and I are old buddies. Motherfucker, stop it! I'm moving back to Chicago, James, to keep that.
I think I'm going to too. So.
We're old pals from the Chicago comedy community. Now we're distant friends in the Los Angeles. How do we get out of here community? Right.
Yeah,
I'm so desperate to leave Los Angeles, man. I haven't seen any friends from Chicago in years. So this is a nice thing for you to come on my show, and we can kind of catch up and maybe get. I wanted to ask you about your leftist politics. I don't really have questions worked out here. I just figured we'd get into capitalism and how much the world is terrible.
I pivoted.
I'm not pivoting to that yet.
I need to make some money.
Yeah. How
pivoting right?
Before we get to how you make money and what you do to justify your right to breathe here on this planet, I'd like to share with the audience a little bit about our origin story, specifically my origin story. It involves.
I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah. Yes. You could just smile. That's all the motivation I need. I have a special bond with James, and I don't think he does with me. But when I was doing comedy, that's right. Well done. Bravo. You've justified your presence here. When I was starting out.
Last one. I'm
Discord.
So sorry.
No,
all
you
right.
keep doing. You just.
I'm bored.
You follow your instinct.
It's horrible to listen.
Put on a
to.
show, man. I'm jealous that you figured it out before I did. Because if I did it now, I'd be hack.
Afraid.
When I first decided I had to become a star and become a legendary Chicago comedy comedian, I went to the internet.
You were like, first I need to be a star.
No. The first
and then
step.
I'll find out the avenue.
Excuse me, you misunderstood. That's the final stage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in my chrysalis form. Okay. Blooming will eventually occur. But I looked up what the fuck is comedy? How do I do this comedy thing? I don't know what this comedy shit is. I just heard about open mics, and I decided it was a thing that got stuck in my head that I had to follow through on. And I Googled it. I found this site called shubas.com for a legendary.
Before even what the fuck?
What was?
We didn't know.
What's what the fuck?
With Mark Maron.
Oh yeah.
I use its Christian name.
Long before. What's his other names?
Yeah.
Does he have
WTF. I say that.
Oh, does Christian name, when you say that means like the full words?
I messed up. Okay, go ahead.
You didn't use his acronym name? His efficiency? I'm out of breath. So then I look it up. I see James. I see this photo. I had never done stand-up. I was on a stage as a boy in A Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So I had a little bit of like stage presence. I played Edmund, emotionally traumatized young boy. I was the perfect kid for that. And then but as I searched for Chicago comedy, I didn't see any, the first face I saw was a photo of James, a photo
Where were
of you
searching that I was the first face?
I searched for sexual porn and I found you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
Used to be my stage name.
That's why it came up so quickly. But I saw your face sitting on a stool.
It was all closers.
Well, that's not good porn. You should open.
Yeah. No one liked it.
Oh fuck, my recording's
down.
Shitty. I screwed this up. God damn it. Hold on.
God fuck.
This will fix it. Okay. I was so excited to talk to you. I know that our chemistry is like probably.
I'm gonna have to saucy some liquor. I don't think beer is gonna.
Beer will do it.
Does this pay? Drunk. Does this podcast pay?
No. What the fuck kind of question is that?
You cast aspersions against.
Yeah.
We're
good now. So I see this beautiful man. I see this guy, and he's leaning forward and he's sitting on a stool. I think it might have been one of James's first or second.
Classic. I don't understand. That was one of the two comedy picks you could do back then. Either like holding a banana as a phone,
right?
Sitting in a stool, looking like I'm Bill Hicks again.
It felt like a legendary pose. And you that's why it worked so well for you. I'm trying to be complimentary so we can just move on from this fucking part. And then I imprinted, because I've been fantasizing for like a week or two. I imprinted though James's face like a mama hen, like a mother duckling, like a baby lizard.
The same age.
I know, but not in comedy age. There were people younger than me because I was 29 when I started Chicago. But there were like people who, like Dan Ronan.
I started late too. I was only like 2 years in.
4 years. Yeah, I know. But you were 2 years above me, which when you start, you don't know shit. You don't know anything. So anybody's 2 years experience seems. But anyway, my point is, I saw you in person finally. I started going to the mics, and we got to know each other slowly over 4 or 5 years because we both have incredibly difficult personalities that don't really have good chemistry, and they kind of clash a little bit. Yeah. That's the truth. But we did eventually. I think I did eventually earn my
I have a
right to.
difficult personality. Is this how you treat your guests?
James, you're not a guest. You're my origin story.
I'm the new co-host.
You're the new co-host.
I literally am going to fire my manager today.
Yeah. So speaking of that, let's get into it. Why did you move to LA, and why do you, and what do you think it's going to take? For
Oh,
you
I
want to
hear your origin story.
What are
you
you
can't
doing
go
here?
that far. Finish your story.
That was my story. I imprinted on you. You imprinted upon me because you're the first face I saw, and I just totally memorized that.
I never knew this. That's psychotic.
I think I told you this once before. I was
a horrible website. Were you looking for comedy on that? I was the first.
I was looking for open mic shows, and you're the host of the Shuba's Open
Mic. You typed in open mic on my feed.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I didn't search for James Fritz. That would have been a very weird first search.
No, you didn't search for like successful Chicago comedians. You searched open mic, and my face came up because I ran an open mic.
I searched for what the fuck, and your face came up, and then Marin came by and took that from you. Yeah,
this makes a lot more sense now.
Good. I'm sure.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
What do you want? What are you sorry about?
I don't know that you.
How's
part in you wanting to do this with your life? Like, that wasn't fair to you.
Want to hear a name droppy story? Can we do it? Can I name drop?
Yeah.
So I was talking to Matt Groening in the green room of a show. I was a cameraman. I was paid like $40 for fucking too many hours of work. He happened to be
Epstein plan.
Was he involved with Epstein? Is that right? That's well. This story's not
why I don't work in the business.
Yeah,
scratch that. It was all a lie. He's a good guy.
You shouldn't ruin. Yeah, I ruin it by when I meet someone that big. I just I kind of Well, okay. Now the story's going to be tinged.
I literally pull up the flight logs in front of them, and I go, wait while I scroll. Then if they're clear, I'm like, nice to meet you. And if they're not, I'm like, nice to meet you.
Right. Do you find it hard navigating the LA social scene? Do you have any networking tips? Because that's definitely been one of my biggest flaws is I made a documentary about a former employer calling them liars and suggesting that, and I don't know if that's good for networking.
Probably not. No. You're supposed to just, embrace the worst people in the world and ignore it and not talk about Gaza. Have you been talking about Gaza?
Who has been?
Have you?
Have I?
Yeah.
I don't focus my show
around. Are you throwing around words like genocide about the genocide that's going on? Are you doing that?
Yeah.
All the networking in the world can't save you at this point.
Oh. Do you think that that's been the case in Los Angeles? The
I don't know.
Punishment.
You're asking the wrong guy. I'm not.
I'm
excited about hitting an open mic tomorrow. So like, it's not like I'm like setting the scene on fire out here.
I hear that. No, I'm not expecting I just assume you'll have a comedic kind of goofball answer. So these questions are setting you up to hit some dingers. I'm not actually thinking.
So the pressure's all on me.
That we're working on our self-help book, our guru. Would you
all your interviews like antagonistic like this?
Yeah, with you.
Oh, okay.
We've never had a conversation
that the first one.
Somewhat antagonistic.
I love you though, man. I'm excited to see it.
I miss seeing people from the city and from
that
Chicago.
Was fun. I'll talk to you later. That was
right.
really fun episode.
You did great. You were wonderful. What are you doing these days? So what's up in your life? Tell me something. We haven't hung out in
I live in Glendale,
California,
which is still technically LA County. So I'm not out of the business.
Good.
Planning on taping. I don't like to say things before they're 100% locked because then they tend not to happen. But
how are you enjoying watching which certain doom are you looking forward to the most of the societal collapse that's inbound? It's inbound. And can we avoid the certain dooms? Fix everything? Now.
We can't fix one. We can't even have a soft landing. I was hoping we would do like, England did when their empire was dying, and they were at least smart enough to be like, we'll let everyone have health care. They're like,
right.
And I used to think Bernie was our last chance, but now I'm thinking Reverend Wright was our last chance.
He should have been, he should have been the candidate. He should have taken over.
He should have been his should have ran Obama's campaign.
Yeah, that's right. Where so
Obama could sell goddamn America. That's the thing. It was such a good speaker.
Right.
Just weird watching him, like watching that speech at the DNC. It was just like the same old Obama speech, and it was kind of like, wow, this used to be like mind blowing because like just all the white boring speakers we had for so long, Obama seemed incredible. But like watching it now after all, it was just like, this sucks. Like the bar was that low back then.
Well, right. His contrast at the time was Bush, Romney, the
Kerry.
John Kerry. Yeah, like the major hitters of the 2000s, and then this guy comes along, and he's an amazing speaker. He has that self-presence.
He's no Jesse Jackson. Watch it. Like after that DNC depressed me so hard, I was blackout for a week. My girlfriend was out of town, and I literally watched a Jesse Jackson speech from like '88, and it made me deep. Yeah, he was just talking about like peace isn't radical, or like peace isn't impossible, and I was just like, oh my god. He said peace. Can you imagine a Democratic candidate saying the word peace?
Is it the most lethal piece? Are we the most lethal piece of all? Could that be that line is one of the most like just like
lethal was
horrifying, just like, and then you got a crowd of just like
I got chills. Yeah. Chanting USA, USA.
Right.
It's like, okay. Move that far to the right.
Mm-hmm.
We're Republicans from 20 years ago. They're
right.
Open, insane people.
Well, they've been a nice comforting refuge for former like Trumpers, like never Trumpers. So like the Democratic Party, a nice easy switch to go from
the Republicans
a conservative Republican to a conservative Democrat.
Yeah, Republicans want women to like be pregnant from like 15 to 85. So they're like,
with like a 10-year break during their 40s, so they could save some money for retirement.
It's so my whole life they just try to court Republicans, Democrats, instead of courting a single non-voter. It never fails.
It is about the most predictable thing you can make. Yeah. And then Obama does this DNC speech where the thing I kind of realized watching that was like for Democrats and for like those barking seals in the audience that just love them like no matter what, the hope is the destination. Like just the idea that I'm going to make it so that the bad man is gone, and I'm going to say a bunch of bullshit that's not actually ever going to happen. And so you feel a little sense of hope that you might get something better than what the worst human being alive can produce is suggesting to offer. And then nothing else
work as well.
But they don't care if they're like, the whole thing is like the policy changing is not what Democratic supporters want. They just want the vibe shift. They want the hope.
It's harder to sell that when outside people are protesting a genocide and they are members of your party, and over 65% of your base supports the people outside. Like, the level of denial is insane. And I know they're just making a bet, like a tack to the middle bet. Same reason Hillary lost, the same reason they always lose when they lose. Is, for every blah, 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 and blah, 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 we'll pick up 2 and blah, blah, blah. They think they can just ride this out, and maybe they can.
Right.
But, like, it's a real risk, even politically. Fuck morally. I mean, morally, it's reprehensible. When that woman, the Palestinian woman, gave that speech, and it was just like, y'all are afraid of this. Like, my God.
Right.
It was the most, like, milquetoast. It was like, we're people. And they were like, no, we can't have that.
Sorry, we need a sheriff on stage. We don't have room for this.
I mean, we're going to lose Michigan. Probably. I mean, Trump is this bad.
Like, I agree.
He's very unpopular.
Yeah.
But they still run in fear of him and like
right.
act towards the. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
I agree with that. The way that I had a thought. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's not there. Oh, I mean, I'm not saying anything you don't know, but like, yeah, if they were to appeal to progressive sensibilities or even way left of progressive and did something even moderately like what's considered centrist in other countries, like a universal health care program, it would cement their power for decades.
Arms embargo is centrist now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not radical. Most of the Democratic Party is like, most people will see this as insane and it needs to stop. And I mean, the level of illusion is, I haven't seen it since like fucking, Iraq and Afghanistan. Like those fucking war cabinet coming out each day and just saying the same fucking lie. But they all, and they're doing it all in service of like a guy who supports the other guy. Right. Like it's madness. It's madness. I feel like I'm insane.
Yeah, the connective tissues between Israeli political culture and like American politics and the money that flows through it, and like the far right there, and the kind of hyper radicalized like society that lives over there.
When you look at, but when you look at news
about interviewing people, regular people in over there, but
when you look at like news coverage, like here to the right, we're more forgiving of Israel's government than even some like Zionist newspapers over there. Like the level of like whatever spin that is happening in the mainstream media about this shit in this country, off the charts, man.
Right. Yeah, there's a strange
way they report.
Right. Yeah.
Headlining us.
It's very infantilizing to the American people as well. On top of the entirety of the project of like how the media is complicit with genocide. But yeah, like the idea that we can't handle these distinctions and the nuances and the way that and then Kamala's coming out really strong with her, like they're using sexual violence and she's like just embracing that debunked stuff, and it's just
it's literally the same script.
This grief porn over the hostages and stuff like that, when we've got 50,000, easily probably 200,000 plus dead currently. This active
and they're debating rape like in the government TV. Of Israel. yeah, on TV.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's nuts. And like you can sell this shit maybe if frozen pizzas weren't $10 and everyone wasn't working 2 jobs. You know what I mean? Like a lot harder to sell this shit and us sending just hitting the green button, no questions on shipments of weapons.
Right.
When everyone I know in the world is struggling, and they're also saying the economy is great.
Yeah, that's one that I've been watching closely. The whole like, well, the inflation numbers are down. What's everybody upset about? Your wages are going. We look at this chart. Look at like the kind of professional class liberal, like who are comfortable just gladly suggesting that everything's fine, that people have,
and their portfolio went up, so they're happy.
Yeah, the line's going up.
Those people don't have a portfolio.
Yeah. I have no expectation of retiring, at all.
No,
I don't. I have too much debt anyway. I have no income. I don't know how.
A retirement plan is a gun and a single bullet.
Sure, I've been hinting at that.
Plan.
Yeah, that's more or less. I literally. Yeah, I mean, what else is there? Have you ever? So you've been getting older. What are we, about 40 something? What am I? Am I older than you? Am I
25?
25. So your parents are aging.
I'm gonna work in this town.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mother aged so much she died.
What? Well, that sucks.
Oh, that's old.
Yeah, that did happen a while back. Was there a period?
Okay, you're right. I'm over it. You're right, Hank. I shouldn't have brought that out.
I'll come over if you need a hug. You want?
No, I'm not over it because it should have been anyone else in my family.
Oh, like the good one. Yeah.
Yeah, the only one who didn't want to die. So of course.
Yeah, naturally, that's the system. Yeah. Have you done any shopping for
God's system?
It is. Yep. the only thing that gives me comfort about the universe is the indifference of it all. Honestly, like I find that's the one thing that'll be like, maybe something good will happen because of the indifference factors. It's not like it's out to get me randomness. It's just that, it'll be fine. I gotta quit bitching and just gotta keep podcasting, bro. That's gonna get me out of this big hole. But I'm just curious. So, have you had any experience with nursing homes, with the whole like placing a parent or helping someone move into a nursing home, or that whole process of that whole end of life stage in this culture? Is
yes, I've had the end of
one of the capitalist nightmares.
It's brutal. But yeah, worked her whole fucking life and just drains finances. And yeah, the insurance companies are the fucking devil. Like shit you have to fight for, and it's just like, it's a really sick society we have.
It's the stress and the amount of just like lost time and energy and calorie and like the cruelty, the cosmic cruelty of having to deal with someone's death and someone's impending death in a good system, in a good world is rough, but we animals as humans would be able to deal with grief and live with I think our relationship to death is incredibly distorted here in this country for sure, no doubt. But like, the fact that
extends to the genocide, man, and how we feel about those images. Like, I was just thinking today about like, I don't think the George Floyd situation, like people, how much more desensitized we've gotten even since then to like death. I don't think that would spark national protest now.
No, even if it did, they, those protests are like, well, definitely I'm for people turning out in the streets, but this country deserves a far greater kind of protest than those sorts of things. And because they said off gas,
you say it deserves a reckoning more than a protest.
Yeah, like I
agree.
Yeah, I mean, not to say they didn't do enough. I'm not judging the George Floyd protests, and that I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying, like, it's amazing that any of the buildings of power in this country are standing, considering what American people.
I'm always heartened in a way. Like I remember the instant polls after a police precinct was burned down. Remember?
Yeah, like, I watched it on Unicorn Riot. Yeah.
But like they did like, I think they kind of hid this poll pretty quick. I think I saw it aired like once. Like CNN, they did like a flash poll, and like 70% of the public supported the burning down of that police station. And I was like, this is a moment. Like, but then everything gets co-opted, and then the cops are like, "Oh, we'll do training,"
right.
and then their way they get funded more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm terrified of. I hate cops more than anything, and the police, carceral state, and the police. I'll never forget living in L.A. seeing tanks parked at the gas station on Los Feliz because Black people were peacefully protesting against cop murder. I was like, oh, there's a tank on the street on my way home in LA.
That's nice. It's the free country.
Yeah, and right. And then watching those protests in Tel Aviv last night where they're spraying like sewage and like those protesters, I'm like, well, that'll be here in about a year.
Yeah. Yeah, they
look out for me on my 15-date Cop City tour in 2025. I'm gonna hit them all.
You'll do great. They'll love you. Those cops, and then I love that they demand such respect. That they just these like government goons get to just like roam around.
One works harder. One work.
Yeah.
Oh, the bravery it takes to sit idling in an air-conditioned car all day,
right,
and sexually harass an underage waitress for free breakfast. Like, not everyone's built for that, Hank.
We can't all do it. Yeah. I think I'd probably get bumped out of the screening process for having photon sensitivities. Yeah, that would do it. It's an ugly situation, the whole thing, and we've never been a fascist society. Like if you consider that all the humans on the continent whose story deserves to be considered as main character, so to speak, We've just been a torture terrorist, mature Nazi coast to coast continent wide society that is like, there's so many good reasons why we inspired Hitler, who was like, we got to go for that. Yeah. We're going to try for some of what they've got going on over there in America. Yeah. The amount of capitalists, the amount of like, when people talk about the Hitler, the word socialist is in the Nazi. It's like, it's just so easy just to list all the companies that worked with the Nazis, the Henry Ford, all the car companies, IBM, these big manufacturing firms. So like they were very highly, it is what capitalism does.
Yeah. Words can be twisted. Like the Democratic Party hasn't had a Democratic primary in a very long time. So you can name yourself anything.
Yeah. That's true. So you're going to miss Joe Biden? Which are you gonna miss, his decency or his compassion? Empathy. Empathic Joe.
You know, he's lost people, and that's why he's so sensitive to people who have lost people.
That's right. That's right.
White people. Yeah. With the last name Biden. Like if your last name is Biden and you're white, he has empathy for you.
Yeah. If he's had sex with you and then you die, he'll feel sad for you. Or if you're one of his kids and you die in a war that he supported because of the chemical poisoning that you got at the burn pits that caused the cancer, because your society will abandon veterans and leave these people to die, because we need those bodies to be chewed up by the war machine so that those lines go up. All that free money that flows into.
Or if you were a black kid that admired his perfect white leg hair.
That's right.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I tell you what.
They were blonde, dude.
He thought that was a good story to tell. I'm like,
I was a lifeguard at the black kids pool, and then they were looking at my leg hairs. And
these animals admired my perfect fine hair glistening in the fuck. Spoke at Strom Thurmond's funeral. I'll never forget. I've hated that cocksucker my whole fucking life. And watching him get rebranded as a winner and a fucking compassionate guy is a fucking crime. He's got his fingerprints on just about every bad thing this country's done for the last 50 fucking years.
Right. Yeah, 100%. Like, you got to try hard to make the planet worse. It takes a lot of like luck, skill, power, and he did a lot of that. He got there early, and he worked hard, and he did a lot to help destroy families and ruin people's lives and maintain the scam of capitalism and all his loyal servitude to the corporations as a Delaware senator. And then in president.
He's on Parks and Rec, man. He's on Parks and Rec, so I like him.
Oh, was he? I didn't see that.
Is that a good show? Part of the rebranding. Yeah. It's a terrible show.
Now it's the time for the duck on the soundboard.
I'm done with the soundboard.
You've moved on. Your voice dropped out there, so that moment got ruined. I don't know what's up with that note thing.
It's okay.
Don't stress it.
Should probably just start over.
I would be against that, but also feel like it's the right choice. That's not in the budget.
You get me so angry, Hank. You just know how to push my buttons.
I do. Dude. So what part of knowing me do you miss most?
What? It's like I still don't know you.
Yeah.
It's like I forgot.
But seriously, you're trying to get out. Would you like to move out of LA and live what's your ideal dream life? What is it? What does a better world look like to you? Come on.
Wings.
Okay. Beer, wings. Less work.
I'd like to. I'd like to not have to have a day job.
How fucking annoying are day jobs? It's just like, what the fuck? Can't even do it.
Yeah, I'd like for my mother to have been like on SNL or something, and then I get an HBO show, something like that.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Would have been cool. Yeah.
Maybe in a next life.
Maybe I should have been funnier.
Yeah. Maybe she'll come back as Lauren McDonald's. What's his name? What? Who runs SNL? Look, you can see my cat.
Lauren McDonald's.
Is it what's his last name? Lorne Michael.
Lorne Michaels.
Well, Mick is short for Michael. Lorne Michael Donalds is his full name. That's what we call him.
Norm McDonald. You got Norm McDonald and Lorne Michaels mixed up, I think.
Probably. No,
I think they were enemies.
I wouldn't confuse Norm McDonald with Lorne Mike. I just literally. I'm just glad it was MC.
This is why we're here right now.
Yeah.
You don't know Lorne Michaels' name?
I do now. With your help.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Horrible. Just brutal. Not great. Just fucking carrying all kinds of weight. Just terrible eating. I'm just waiting to die in my sleep of a heart attack. I do. Yeah, it's been a strange. My whole time in LA has not been.
I had a run. Yeah.
Yeah.
You worked with monsters.
That's not the word I would use. These are my. I've seen some of the interesting.
This is Monster Town.
It's true.
You know, like it's Monster Town. I've worked with monsters too.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of
probably more
Grenvilles.
in Chicago. That's why I got a reason I left. Yeah.
I do think about moving back to Chicago at some point. I'm not sure I'll ever do stand up again. I do want to do stand up again, but I just I haven't done it in years. It's not. I wouldn't say I gave up, but yeah.
TikTok it doesn't matter. You could just start.
Yeah.
Huge. It doesn't matter.
Do you think I could gain an audience on TikTok by talking about what it feels like when your beard falls out? I've lost my beard. I have some sort of alopecia thing.
Are you gonna ask people in the front row if they're fucking?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I think you'll do fine.
Who do you do for a living? Would be my funny question.
Oh, that's
I'd innovate.
I got good news for both of you. You could both do better.
Nice.
Rickles that shit.
With me. You ever have a threesome with anybody from the audience, James?
Not off stage. Our minds, when I'm on that stage. Oh. Hank, when I'm on that stage, it's like I'm having sex with the whole crowd, bro.
That's awesome. Yeah. Soon your AI will be able to just do that for you. You don't even have to.
Catch me at the mothership.
Yeah.
Right.
That is
7-finger girl, so this is perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah. Well, 14-fingered girl.
I wish I had 7 buttholes.
14 buttholes.
They're 7 fingers.
Yeah, no, I'm doing the math. I'm saying both hands.
And you're a tough crowd, Hank. This is what I've missed about you.
I
give you I wish I had 7 buttholes joke, and you math checked me.
I doubled it. I made it twice as funny. That's how it works. This is how much. Working at the Young Turks, working for Jimmy Dore, working back at the Young Turks. I've been in that world for quite a bit. And then last few years, it's been a real strange turn since the pandemic, though. And I love the pandemic. I actually felt like nothing much different about my world changed. I was just sort of staggering around, scurrying to the grocery store and wherever else I had to go and back home. And then I did some woodworking. I signed an NDA, so I can't tell you which celebs I did woodworking for, but I can, I did lose the ability to fully use my hands for the rest of my life from that job due to injuries by vibrating tools. So that's fun. That was a good sort of job to get when you're desperate. It paid enough to pay like 70% of my bills. And, but at least those celebrities got some very high quality woodworking done.
That was a lot.
Yeah. And then I've been working on the documentary. Have you seen it? I want to talk about my shit. The Young Turks documentary?
Available?
Yeah, it's available.
I didn't know this. You never told me about it.
This is the first time we've talked.
Doc every fucking day.
I
would have prepped for the show if you told me it existed.
Well, I wasn't going to make
have you seen it?
Watch it. I assumed the only reason you wanted to was because you wanted to praise my editing. It's very good. It's got great editing. But would you if I sent you the link? Would you watch it? And you don't even have to do a podcast.
Not with this attitude. No.
Come on. What attitude do you like? Begging?
How long is it?
Desperate begging.
How long is it?
It's 2 minutes. No, it's 84 minutes total so far, but it'll feel like 6 years. It'll feel like a lot longer. No, truthfully, I've been getting this.
Did you land any
Yep.
talking heads?
Yep.
Don't sell it.
Brian Dunkelman.
Dunster.
He's the host. He got a gig out of it.
Okay.
Yep. Ben Shapiro's in it.
Oh, great guy.
Funny. He plays a man dressed up as a woman trying to get a job. It's called. No, he's not. Yeah, no. I have. Yeah. It's about union busting at the Young Turks. That's what's fun about it.
That's it.
Yeah. Do you really not know anything about it?
Is it about Anna Kasparian's landlord parents? Is that part of it?
No. Sure. Her dad is apparently owns a building. Cenk's dad is a much bigger landlord than hers, though.
I like Hassan.
Yeah. Hassan's okay. I used to edit some of his stuff.
What's the beef on that?
He could be way worse in person.
I felt the hesitation.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, I don't want to hang out with him.
Yeah, no, I mean he's a nice guy. I feel not sorry for him because of the money and the good looks and the sex that he's had and the amazing things that
his arm muscles. Yeah, I'll never feel sorry for
his single bicep vein.
He's beautiful. Fuck him.
He does. Yeah. He's even more striking in person.
Talker.
He is. Yeah. And as I always like to point out, his head is not small. He just has big shoulders. Okay. He's got actually a fairly sizable head, but it's small in appearance due to its contrasting scale and ratio to his immense shoulders. And I'm saying that as a man who has big, strong, hunky shoulders. And he makes me feel like a little teddy baby girl that wants to just curl up in his arms. No, I joke. But he got super rich and sells a lot of stuff for Jeff Bezos on Facebook. Not Facebook, on Twitch. Does good work, honestly. He does good work. He's someone I've had conversations with or about.
He'll criticize his uncle.
I hear some of it. Yeah. I looked for pieces of him talking about. I
respect that.
I agree. Yeah. I would love to. I know that during the union busting that went down at the Young Turks.
I'll criticize my uncle for like a $5 cover at a Uncle McShit fucks, you know.
Mm-hmm. Has your uncle ever done union busting? No. All right. Well, at least he's good. He's good enough to be that.
Some head busting.
Yeah. What is yeah. What do you want to know?
What does Jimmy Dore smell like?
He smells fine. He showers. Clean guy. Yeah. I used to. Yeah. So I first showed up at TYT.
I wasn't thinking BO. I was thinking like. I just thought he would smell like way too cologne-y or something.
Oh no, nothing like that. I would be a bad person to even gather that information. I don't have a good sense of smell. If I can smell something, it's pretty strong. So I guess that would make me.
If you smell something, say something next.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you see something, say something.
Oh, Jimmy Dore, did he ever have a true belief in anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to listen to him a lot. I used to really like him.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. I even used to listen to him and Todd Glass's podcast. I loved that podcast.
Me too. Comedy and everything else. So when I was a young comedian in Chicago, aspiring to be as good as my mentor James Fritz, I
even wrote him back then, and like my first album that's no longer available. Good reason. Oh, actually, for bad reason. We'll get into that off air. But sure. And he wrote back and was like very sweet and poured it. I mean, this was Jimmy Dore. The listeners probably wouldn't even recognize now. But
yeah,
I used to really like him. It was weird to watch his victory.
Comedy and Everything Else was one of those shows, and they would go deep on like, what do you do? How do you write your joke? Like that, even though that kind of conversation gets very old, it happens. It's tired, but I love
tired then. There were like Tupac comedy podcasts.
I started in 2009.
Todd Glass and him were like best friends, and they were great.
Yeah. Were you into Never Not Funny and
oh yeah.
Who's the other guy?
Comedy Bang Bang. I listened to like crazy.
Yeah, those are big ones. Yeah. I didn't get into either of those. Comedy and Everything Else I listened to a lot. And in fact, I'm the reason Jimmy wound up at the Young Turks, because I was a fan of his show, Comedy and Everything Else. And I had a contact at TYT. I had this weird role in TYT lore. And I recommended, because he would get into like political rants every once in a while. And so I kind of agreed with all that stuff. And I was a listener, paying member at TYT back in 2009, 10, 11 and stuff. And Yeah, so I recommended him to my buddy, and I was like, he's this LA guy. He's got this kind of funny podcast. Talks to him and Todd Glass, and maybe it'd be good for the show. I was just kind of dude, check it out. And then I reminded him once more, and then they brought him on, and I was so proud. I was like, look, Jimmy Dore's on with Cenk Uygur. This is like 2011. I think they're that video is probably still up there somewhere. You can go back into TYT's archives, go to their video section, and click on like oldest or whatever. Boy, there is so much. I am so embarrassed I was a fan of that show for like I'm humiliated by what I didn't think was reprehensible.
It was slim pickings back then. I used to listen to Air America because it was the only, I think I still listen to Majority Report. I think they do a great job.
Yep.
Like I listened to Marin and Sam Cedar's Break Room Live podcast. I watched that thing. Like there was no even center left media back then.
Yeah. I would listen to the Rachel Maddow, Chuck D, and Liz Winstead show, if you recall. King Hartman, of course, was also part of Air America. Al Franken did a turn for a decent stretch. RFK Jr., guy that would play no more role in the future of humanity or the future of bears or whales. Although honestly, I would want a whale skull. You could talk me out of it, but like it is kind of cool.
Everyone's like, oh, he drove and the whale blubber was like flying in the face of his kids because the window was down in the car. And I'm like,
yeah.
Dad used to take us on camping trips and like they were bad, like locust, but horrible bug that was attracted to light.
Mm-hmm.
He would shine the flashlight on us as children. The bugs would just swarm us. Like, the whale blubber's not so bad.
Yeah. Good thing whales aren't attracted to light like bugs are.
Even Kennedy is.
Yeah. You're that's a violating kind of thing to do to a kid, is to use them for the amusement of an adult and have them attacked by a swarm of bugs. Unless you were enjoying it and it was sort of like a trusting activity. Are you in therapy?
No, I just do podcasts.
Oh. Does that mean you're going to pay me?
I listen to the BetterHelp promos, and I feel like that's enough.
Yeah. Just listen to it in slow speed. BetterHelp, they better help. Listen to this. Well, they're helping the big data industry. Let's not act like they're not fucking monsters. They're collecting data. I don't know precisely.
Who are your sponsors, Hank Thompson?
My sponsors, HelloFresh, the Union Busters. Those motherfuckers, they're Union Busters. Pieces of shit. Yeah. No Evil Foods, fucking Union Busters, motherfuckers. No Evil Foods. Whatever other, I can't think of any other small shops.
Is No Evil Foods a real place?
Oh, have you not heard of this one? I want to get in touch with them. They did it's a real like food distribution company, something.
They're called No Evil, and they're Union Busters.
Yeah, that's kind of what got their
country.
So like they went through a union organizing campaign and were met with like union busting, like clear and obvious, not just like, oh, we need a week, and then they like it's just I could even make space. Like TYT's union busting was a 2-month campaign that included every classic playbook in the union busting, every classic.
I paid attention to that while it was happening. And
that's interesting. What did you think? Do you recall your thoughts about it at the time, or did you have a sense of it? How closely did you process that?
Oh, well, no, I already thought they fucking sucked at that point. So I was just like, of course.
Yeah. Good to hear.
And I'd see Jimmy Dore getting happy about it. And I'm like, oh, God, there's no good people in this universe.
Very weird for me to watch Cenk and Jimmy then go through their like big breakup and the over the force the vote stuff and the other things and whatever. Like that whole, just watching this space and having had this got the argument
for force the vote. Like I got it, but like, once you see how cynically like one thing is used to just, for the grift, for the clicks and the grift, was one moment in time, and like acting like that was the end of all democracy,
right? The loyalty violations that kind of come with that stuff is not great. I the assumption of bad intentions in people who you ostensibly agree or disagree with. You know, like I'm always analyzing or assessing good faith versus bad faith, just sort of in my.
I think that's why I still really like Majority Report and respect everyone involved on that show.
Right.
Even they won't always agree, but they don't. No, they don't just cast everyone who's not 100% on, not even like their position, but like their strategy, to make a goal happen. Like they don't just broad brush, like they were born out of Satan's asshole.
7 assholes, Satan.
7.
Yeah, one for each day of the week.
Holy number.
That's right.
Pun intended.
God could only count that high. Ooh, yeah.
Whoa.
My God impression is very accurate, by the way. Like but the good faith, bad faith.
I work with special needs.
Did I do that special? Are you seriously doing? Is that what you're saying? Wait a talk about James is coming from the school of how to really fuck up a conversation. I work with special needs.
I do.
I'm grateful for that. I'm not suggesting you don't.
Yeah. I did it because I needed it would help me with my crowd work.
And especially after well, I will withhold any further commentary now that I've been trapped by the greatest predator of all time, my mentor James Fritz. I was going to say though,
better predator than deadator.
Whoa, better carried out by 6 than dug up by 4. James, you I just want to finish this thought though, because you were talking about, or I was talking about good faith, bad faith, and you were agreeing with my genius and my insight and my brilliance, and I was of course grateful for that. And of course also not surprised. But I was just going to finish this with when people get so upset with each other on the internet with you're right or you're wrong, is this is such a simplistic binary that I find really confining. Like for me, when I think of somebody's, whether their point is valid or invalid, or like I think of it in terms of persuasive or not persuasive, so you can have a valid perspective but still be not persuasive to me. Like there's just more factors going on. Yeah, no, I do. I know. There's so many more.
I care about that with like pundits and shit, but like I'm a comedian. I don't fucking, that's not my job. But I get what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't suggesting you switch to this. I'm just saying like
I just hate when people are like, when a comic makes a fucking joke and they're like, well, what's your solution? I'm like, I don't have to have a solution.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because I find that the people get defensive if they feel wrong. And so if I would rather tell you that you're not being persuasive is a kinder way of, I think you're wrong, than saying
manipulative.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
learn that from your therapist, that manipulation.
Yeah. God, the ultimate therapist. And I recommend you go to his house. The church near my house, I have a cute little church, and they put up they put up a huge
church.
No, there's a church near in my apartment.
No judgment.
No, I don't go to church. It's in the neighborhood. I you know what? I like churches. I think churches are nice spaces. Some of the architecture can be pleasing, but I also like the armory of this big building at the University of Illinois. You go inside and there's like a whole track and field in there, and you're like, oh, it's nice to be in a big room. I think I just like big rooms. I think that's really all it comes down to. It's like we're in a big room, but we're not outside. Outside is the biggest room.
It's God's room.
James, improve my mic. Improve my bits. Make me funny, mentor. No.
I can't. I can't make me funny.
If you had a $6,000 budget and a 3-day vacation trip or 3 days to take a vacation, would you like to go to Tuscany or somewhere else? Where does James go when he needs to?
Wait. So the choices are A is Tuscany or B anywhere else?
Well, something on the same order. This
episode is sponsored by the Tuscany
Tourism Bureau. Yep.
Yeah.
The TTB.
Did
what do you do to unwind? What do you do when you say, you know what, world?
I'd probably spend it on records.
I need to relax. On what?
I spend it on records.
Yeah? What record you bought lately?
Oh man, I finally got my favorite Lucero album I found for like $25.
Wow.
was cool.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I got a copy of Crackers the Golden Age, which is like one of my favorite albums ever. I had never seen it before, and I spent more money than I'm saying to get it.
All right,
I'm happy I did because.
So, when you listen to a record, do you use headphones or do you use speakers? Like, is
speakers.
It? My follow-up question.
Wait, I wish I don't have I don't think I can even hook up something.
Yeah. Wow,
it's complicated.
Your voice dropped out there, but a record is an analog device that I love the physicality of the grooves. I think we all agree how cool it is when you see those little cameras that zoom in real tight on the little needle. And
it's amazing.
It's like, whoa, what the fuck? This is literally magic. It's totally magic. Yeah. Converts it into electronic signal, goes through your voice process, your noise processor.
Yeah, it's wild.
It
still sounds better than most anything.
Well, I was wondering that. So you do think that it does sound better, records versus?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a crazy audiophile. Like you can get too into it.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Like the guys who are too into it, like nothing ever sounds good to them.
You
got that copy, like that was a horrible pressing of that. I'm like, I don't enjoy music anymore.
They even get into the pressings. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I've dabbled in that a little because like with the record boom that has happened, like, there's a lot of like really bad pressings that they're just selling for like 30. Buy it.
Are you referring to a recent record boom? I don't know anything about this industry.
Oh yeah. It's gone crazy, dude.
Tell me. Fill me in. Fill us in.
Oh, they're very expensive now.
Okay. But like, when did it turn around? When did the market pick back up? I'd
say probably about 6 or 7 ago. And then I think during COVID, a lot of people got into it. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of when I got back into it. I had some, but I gave away most of my old record collection. Idiot about, I didn't know these records were going to be worth like $600 one day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. I had like a first pressing Kinks Village Green Preservation Society like import that I looked up the other day, and I'm like, oh, that was worth $500.
Oh, that's a depressing search.
Like I got into records growing up. I had a record player, I'm a hillbilly.
Yeah.
And then in college, I was a broke college student, and I had a record player. And back then, you could go to the music store, and you get the whole Stones catalog for like $10. Like records were nothing back then. But yeah,
they were a problem.
Crazy.
So even like old records that, right, because they're big and they're heavy and they require storage.
Everyone wanted to get rid of them.
Yeah, yeah. So you're saying now you can get them because we had a big stack of old records that we had to fuck around with for a long time. So
yeah. Oh, I had a lot, and then my buddy, I was leaving Chicago and like trying to save up money to move to LA.
Mm-hmm. Good choice.
Bouncing around a little. My buddy let me, musician Adam Fitz, good guy. Him and his gal let me live in his attic for like 4 months, rent free.
Wonderful.
Cool. At the end of it, I was like, take all of my records. Oh shit.
Do they still have those records?
Stupid of me. Hope so, because they've gone up in value a whole lot.
Maybe go get them. Maybe say, yo, I'm taking that money back.
What kind of person do you think I am?
I know.
Let me live in their home.
You should.
A common clown vagabond. They let into their home. They have children now, Hank. You want me to take food out of their baby's mouth?
They shouldn't be feeding those records to their children. That would be unhealthy. Have you ever tried to poop
Hank,
a shard?
Feed.
You've been to
Poop a shard? It's right by Schaumburg.
Yeah. It's down there by the kitchen pot. Yeah.
Poop a shard.
Poop a shard.
So you want to move back to Chicago, but you're scared, is what you're...
No, I'm poor. I can't do shit. I'm scared to go anywhere. I'm scared for everything.
You're poor.
I can't afford to get out. I can't afford to stay. I can't afford to move. I could throw everything away, but it's like any kind of move would be very disruptive, and staying feels somewhat disruptive too. And yeah, it's been I need to sort something out. I think the podcast is going to turn
podcast I've ever done.
No, it's not. No, it's
Sure,
not.
it's a
You've done lots of
second or
podcasts.
third.
That's outrageous. You're having a great time. You like me more than you want to admit. I can tell. I'm a good read on people.
Oh, I love you. I'm just worried about you. That was one of the saddest sentences I've ever heard anyone say.
Which one? Mine? Or one of yours?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm doing all right, Hank. I'm okay.
I'm doing fine. I'm not. It's not. It's not going great. I think I could do.
You didn't even hold that live for
Yeah.
half a second.
Yeah. No.
I'm fine. I'm not.
Yeah. Are you autistic, James? Do you want me to diagnose you or not right now? I learned I'm autistic 2 years ago.
Everyone is. Right?
No, it's not everyone. There's
Like brat.
What is that? What the fuck does brat mean? Cut it out.
It means autistic.
No, it doesn't. I'm not going to trust you. You're whispering.
Kamala
now. Your
is
voice gets
autistic.
Huh?
Kamala is autistic. That's what Kamala is brat mean.
that's how that translates.
Yeah.
If she comes and says she might be, I would be that's definitely something I would say. All right, I support you on your journey. You're closer to wellness. I didn't even know what the fuck it was.
Are you autistic, or do we all just have long COVID now?
No, I wish. Long COVID makes the autism worse.
You wish?
No, I don't. No.
Well,
It's not long.
Way to
COVID.
make that happen.
I've been an annoyed weirdo my whole life. Been a scatterbrained.
Dr. Fauci's autistic.
Yeah. RFK Jr. didn't save me. I know what you're doing. I know. I don't want to be. I've already got a huge beef on the internet with TYT. Although they don't want to. There's no beefing happening. It's me just making a documentary about the union busting and posting tweets about my employment conditions. Yeah,
love it.
We could have an offline combo if you want to hear more details.
I'm good.
What do you mean you're good? You don't want to hang out? Wait. What'd you just do? You just changed your audio.
No other life.
Your audio just went crazy. Welcome back. Sorry about that edit, everybody.
Thanks.
Technical problems. So James, what what have we left? Anything else you want to bring up? What certain doom? You haven't. How do you think the world will end, and how soon? Duck noise. Do the ducks.
That's an insane. What?
That's not funny.
That's how the world will end.
Yeah.
A rim shot.
With laughter.
Now, I'm a big. I really think the water wars are gonna be. I think we're underselling the water wars that are coming up. I don't think people really realize how important water is to human life.
Oh, that stuff that comes in bottles?
Never really grasped that as Americans, I don't think.
The stuff that
people didn't start drinking water until like 1984 or 86. Right. You know?
Yeah. And that's only because we hate pistachio farming.
Right.
Listen to the
What
Resnick,
a weak
the
nut.
dollop.
What a weak nut.
I saw a video.
That much water to.
I agree.
Walnuts,
almonds,
or not walnut, cashews. I understand.
Why are cashews a bitchy nut? Do they take a lot of attention?
I think they're a bitchy nut, but they're worth it.
Yeah.
Can even have to like a plain cashew from like Trader Joe's, no salt, no nut.
Very buttery.
The best.
Yeah, I agree.
Who the fuck is dealing with a pistachio? The labor involved, how small you get, what psychopaths. Right. Choose pistachios. If anyone's favorite nut is pistachio, it might be a red nut.
Say it. Finish your thought. Or did you finish your thought?
Be a redneck.
Oh. I saw a video comparing American pistachios in the Resnick family that owns Fiji Water and like the pistachio company, and like they're these billionaires that control like water. There's this whole like thing with like, water that's not real. They call it paper water.
Oh no, you can just own natural water.
Just have this kind
smart.
of. I find that's the sort of stuff where we're gonna argue about like communism.
What do you want, communism?
No, I just think that we should all own the water, or maybe nobody should own the water.
That's just public interest of a country.
Yeah, the way you eliminate ownership is by making everybody owners. Therefore, it's equal. Like it's something we should manage as a group of humans, and not just like let someone.
You can have a yacht. You can still have a yacht on water.
Right.
Own the water.
Then they could rent the water to the yacht users.
Nuts.
Brilliant. Smart.
I feel like the whole country is planned like LA is like city planning at this point. Just no foresight. Like, LA is just like a rich guy's like, I want to live up there now. It's like people are like, there's no good public transit now. And I'm like, how would they even do that? I think a bus can go up that fucking curvy hill that those people decided to just fucking start building on. Like the layout is insanity.
We would need,
and that's America.
Ski lifts, like a bus, but that takes you up to your house in the hills. But no, it's actually not a lack of foresight. It's quite the opposite. They had a ton of foresight. They didn't want.
No, I know they had the best.
Yeah, they were down for
ripped it up for the auto
industry and auto stuff and auto parts.
I've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Hank. Really I know what the fucking.
Do you miss that era of cartoons?
It feels like zero city planning, though. You know what I mean?
For your interests, yeah. If you were selling brake pads, good planning, right? Maybe you should sell brake pads. So didn't you ever hear my jokes back in the day? I used to talk about that a lot. I used to always.
Okay, you're right. We should have no other option to get across the second largest city in the world than Los Feliz Boulevard, which will never. You want to go to the store tonight? Sure, I'll just carve out 6 hours of my life.
Yeah,
hit the club.
Brave some of the most dangerous conditions humans have ever created. Might as well be going to the fucking Titanic. Scary. More people die. You know what job is way dangerous, more dangerous than fucking cops? Delivery driver, taxi driver, Uber driver.
Jobs on that list: roofing,
transportation, logging, fishing, roofing. They're like 20.
Fluffer.
Fluffer. You get hit in the head.
Look it up.
You're done. 14 buttholes. 14's a funnier number than 7. Sorry, James. I know that's disappointing for you to hear. So I guess I was just going to ask you. You waited too long. There was one I
don't need your notes, man. You, Hank. This is just our dynamic. Not too aggressive for the listeners. I love Hank.
No, this is an awkward conversation overall.
And if you listen to it back, he started it every time.
That's true. I always
just like you always did. Just like you always did.
I always did feel like
you're like, why do you hate me? And I'm like, you start a fight every time we met.
No, just because I'm not intimidated by you.
I'm not trying to intimidate anybody.
I headbutt back. Bitch.
I'm a nice guy. People. Whoa.
James is an alpha male, and I'm an alpha male as well. But we're both like, he's an alpha turtle, and I'm an alpha bird. I have faster reflexes, but he's more protected. Thus, I will stand on his back and assert dominance.
You're starting to sound like Jordan. Are you listening to Jordan Peterson? Like, what is this shit?
No. What's his? How do you explain his popularity?
Algorithms. That's it.
Yeah.
I had like 20 years of YouTube history. I watched one Norm Macdonald video and one crypto video, and then all of my suggestions were Jordan Peterson and Ben, what's his fuck?
Shapiro.
Yeah.
Hunky.
Quick.
Yeah.
I know quick. The algorithm was just like, let's just make a fucking incel. Oh, this guy. It's just people are leaving it on auto stream or whatever and just getting indoctrinated.
It's
nuts.
What is it?
I'm barely exaggerating. Like it was.
No, I know.
It was like a Norm Macdonald clip and I watched like a crypto thing. Like just because I was curious about it back when that was popping off, and instantly my suggestion.
I picture the algorithm as just being like this hall of like risers, like a lot of, and then it's like a choir that never ends, but it's all vampires, and they all smile and they go, ee. As soon as you do something that they could make money off, they go, ee. and then they like their vampire fingers go, ooh. And evil flows. It's an evil exchange.
Evil flows like that.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Videos arrive like butterflies.
Is that a music reference?
Pixie Chicks, I think.
I've heard of them. Yeah, right wingers.
Sorry, chicks.
JK.
Hello.
But no, I get that.
They changed their name because of woke.
That's true. Or did they change their name? They're just the chicks now.
What has wokeism taken from you, Hank? Be honest.
All my advantages. I can be mediocre. if I'm white. I get to be really mediocre and still okay.
Yeah. The reason Bill Maher hates it, right?
Are you? What's
It's
going
like
on with Bill?
the most mediocre comedian of all time who just hit the time and place lotto.
Really?
Early 80s when there were like 20 comedians.
And you're headlining within
so
like 4
mid.
Months. And completely.
Yeah. Of course he hates woke because like even though he's a billionaire, deep down he knows he's not as good.
Of course.
And the wokeism potentially is a threat to people finding out he's not good.
Yeah. He's a sclerotic old dumbass. Did you ever see his original movies? He was in some movies too. They put him in some films, like some 80s where he's like,
hey. Cannibal Women, the Avocado Jungle or whatever.
Yeah, those I don't know. I would believe it if
that's why he can say the N-word. He was in that.
Oh, good. Yeah. He's doing a good service to the world, that Bill Maher. I don't watch that. I used to watch that show a lot. That was on my regular diet back in those halcyonic like Daily Show nights at 10 o'clock Daily Show.
He's another like guy who's like obviously done a right grift that is like noticeable. Like you can clock when it started happening.
Do you think it's? I mean, money obviously yes.
That's where the easy money is.
I think he was just sort of always there, kind of too, because it wasn't that hard to be like the Iraq War is unreasonable, and that was enough to plant you on the left.
Actually, it was hard back then. He got fired for that.
Did it? Well, was that Iraq War related? Yeah, it was.
It was 9/11. He was.
He said they were courageous for flying into the buildings and shooting.
Well, he just said everyone calls them cowards, and he's like, you can call them a lot of things, but like,
right.
What we do is kind of, you know, at the time I was like, he made a good point.
Yeah, but he was still a darling.
He's clearly to become more relevant, and I knew he was going to pivot right when he had a whole campaign that was like, I'm not in it for the likes, and it's like, oh, this guy's in it for the likes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it wasn't enough to be a millionaire.
Yeah,
I want to be trending.
And I'm sure his audience demos must be like older though, right? Like he's got to have some solid core of Gen X, like people that age along with him, like the Beach Boys, for instance.
Oh yeah, it's the houses I used to Postmate to, like $100 orders that wouldn't tip. Yeah.
Oh, I know, man.
I fucking up a mountain.
What's the worst like you got stiffed money wise on a Postmate? So I did Postmates for quite a while. God. I was so depressed. I was in such a severe state.
You know who was great?
What movie?
To combat your constant negativity. You know who was great?
I'm very positive.
Okay. You're like, what's the worst that ever happened?
Sounds like you're being negative.
What's the most? I'm doing you.
Oh.
And it was dead on.
That was perfect.
Are there two
of me?
Don't look behind me.
I know there's a cat.
Ice Cube's son. Awesome.
Small Cube? I don't know anybody's son. What do I look like? A nepo?
He's in movies and shit. O'Shea Jackson Jr. He's in fucking movies and shit.
Does he play an elf in Lord of the Rings? Then I don't know him.
Oh, I didn't know you were one of those.
One of
what? I don't see any nerd shit in your background. Nerd. I didn't see any nerd shit in your background.
Woodworkers are the kind
hammer.
of nerd you want to fuck. Marry me. No, it is. I did have dreams about being a hunky woodworker back when I had race.
Anyway, his son like ordered like $100 worth of food in the valley, and like 11 at night, I went there, whips out $100 bill, and he's like, "Cash is better, right?" And fucking puts $100 bill. I'm like, whatever. Ice Cube raised a good son in this town.
Oh, that was a tip? $100 tip?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't have a worse story? That's your best story. That's a very nice tip.
I was $100 trying to like lighten up the mood. Yeah. You're miserable, Hank, and you're asking for like constant negativity.
No. I'm asking for joy.
And you got door brain, man.
What certain doom?
You know, when God closes a Jimmy Dore, he opens a Jimmy window.
That's true. It's true. Something crawl space. You don't have any sad stories about Postmates? I cried once because I thought I got a red light ticket. I thought I got a red light ticket. It's like $400.
Oh yeah, no, I had full mental breaks doing that job. I had full mental breaks doing that job in this city. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
In fucking jars because like this town has 14 bathrooms. Olympics are gonna go great.
Oh my god, the Olympics!
I can't wait. Well, gotta get out before the fucking Olympics. Man.
They're gonna totalitarian.
Might be what finally breaks me.
Yeah, no, but they're gonna be. It's gonna be.
They're gonna straight up
police Nazi state. This whole place.
They're gonna be shoveling homeless people into mass holes.
Yeah,
like,
it's gonna be gross. Yeah, and there'll probably be some
from
protests.
Boston.
Yeah, no, I for sure. Yeah, no, the Postmates
City's
days
not
were pretty-
prepared.
Probably not.
Yeah,
Doesn't seem well planned. It's spread out at least, so that's good. At least you got to drive really far to go anywhere. But so yeah, my worst Postmates, since I know that's what you want to hear about. It was a sushi bar. I had to go in and order. I didn't even get to fucking like pick up and drop off at the doors. This was like way back.
Those were the worst. Oh yeah.
I don't even know if delivery places. If I had to do deliveries
those sushi
again,
ones because you were like, oh, this might be a high ticket.
Yeah, it was 120.
Oh, you always took the.
But then they don't
You
have.
always took the sushi.
The worst thing was when the some item that they had placed in order isn't available or on the menu, and then you got to call and be like, so there's not, and now you're someone's boyfriend. All of a sudden, you're like, okay, do you want to get there's another type of yellowtail? Do you? It's the most awkward thing, and you're in a hurry, and
there's some really dumb kids with a lot of money out here.
Yeah, I want to be one of them. That's my goal. I don't even like money.
Never gonna be young again, Hank.
What? Come on, look at me. I'm such a good
if you get
example
enough
of
money,
why fat
you
guys
ain't get that.
need beards. My chin is so gross. But I can't grow a beard anymore.
Look at
I know.
what I'm wearing.
I know. That's because you got follicle
Is that
privilege.
mustache fake?
You got follicle privilege. Mine?
Follicle privilege. Look at my hairline.
No.
How dare you say that?
Yeah, I know. I got a spot missing on my chest, just a fucking patch of baldness going on. It's alopecia. I got some sort of
Sure,
degenerative
it's not
illness.
the
or
hot
something.
candle wax for your degenerate sex.
No, I wish. I wish. Maybe I could get some of those pro hair growth candle waxes. I haven't had sex in 5 years. 4 years. But I was saying, so I go in and I order this fucking sushi and it's $125. I had to call them and then like I sit out. It takes like an hour. It's a super busy Brentwood sushi restaurant. And I'm just parked up on a bench outside, feeling horrible and miserable. And then this guy comes out. This is why it's a nice story. A man from Australia. It was like I was being visited by a creature from a different dimension. And we started chatting. He stepped out of the restaurant. He's like, I'm just visiting from Australia. And I was like, oh yeah. And so we started talking a little bit and it was nice. It was nice to have a little 15-minute friend, you know, it was just sort of like a nice memory.
That's your best story.
It's not over yet. Fuck boy. I almost said fucko boy, but that wouldn't have made any sense.
Fuck boy.
And so
that fuck boy doesn't make sense either.
It's a word. So I take the sushi to this place. It's one of those palaces that has a guard. You know, these places are fortresses because America is all about literally just sustaining the theft of robbing people of their land and making the serfs and peasants bring you stuff that not well timed. Not well timed. I was making a point. Why is your chest so bright blue? The way your computer's lighting up your chest is very funny. Oh my God, it's a big blue. Wow. That is a beam on you there. Be careful. We all know how you're gonna die from nape cancer. So I
got that Iron Man disease.
Well, here's your problem. You got a fucking nuclear reactor in your chest. You got nape cancer now. Nipple cancer. You got sternum cancer. You got the whole constellation of cancers. Then I bring them the food, and they tip me like $1 or $2 for a $125 fucking order that took me an hour and 20 minutes. I made no, hold it for a second. Pause it. I made $6. Trumpet. Dude, come on. You've lost your touch. Lovely. What's nice is that's the only time of your life you feel powerful is when you press that soundboard button. At least that's how I feel when I play soundboards.
So mean.
No, not your life. The only power. So
you said your life.
Yeah, I didn't mean you literally, but
talking to me.
All of us. The universal your.
Okay.
Do you think humanity will ever claim its rightful purpose? And then we can end the show in another 10 minutes or so. We're nearing the end here.
No, I don't think it has a rightful purpose other than to kill itself, probably.
All right. Right answer. Correct. Okay. No rightful purpose other than to kill itself. Remember At Midnight? What happened to Chris Hardwick? Where's that fucking guy? He got kind of run out, and he probably was smart enough to just go live somewhere comfortably. Probably that would be my.
He married a Hearst.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't know that.
He's okay.
Yeah.
And he's hosting another show.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, bitch.
Huh. What's his Twitter? I gotta send him a. No, I'm joking. Remember when at midnight we used to be this like nightly nightmare ritual for like 2 or 3 years on Twitter? That was a fun time period.
Back on CBS now.
What? CBS?
Yeah.
I am so
it's on.
Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
on
I don't pay any attention.
after Colbert.
If it's not some YouTube bullshit, I probably haven't heard of it. What shows you been watching? Anything you've been liking lately?
Just at midnight.
Just that?
All I watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get all my news from there.
Are they gonna wear magic rings that make them powerful? Too quiet for the noise gate.
Is that a nerd thing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Do you not think of yourself as a nerd? Are you not a nerd? I know you dress up like
I'm
you're
not.
I like your shirt, by the way. You have a cool
Dress
shirt.
up like you're not. I mean, wear clothes.
No, the shirt you're wearing is very cool. It's a good choice of
It's
colors.
not cool.
I think it's cool.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Sure.
You know, I got a lady. You know, she's taught me a lot.
Are you married? What did she teach
She
you?
was married before, so like.
Oh.
She didn't. I'm kidding. I teach her. She's a woman. We're smarter. Anyway.
Yeah, they learn. They submit and they learn.
She's the best.
And the economy goes up.
She kind of has opened me up into be like, oh, you can wear that. Whereas like in my limited hillbilly brain, I was like, now I've started just like, I'm not going to lose the belly before the taping. I've just embraced my body.
Yeah.
Going full like Sopranos core.
I like it. Yeah, I see.
I'm just wearing wife beaters and,
spouse beaters, we call them.
Floral and beaters.
Mm-hmm.
Like more floral shirts.
Nice. Is that what your lady got you to do? Is floral patterns?
No, I did that on my own, but she opened me up to like, everything doesn't have to be like a ad. Well, this is but like,
yeah,
everything doesn't have to be band T-shirts. And,
band underachiever
alternative. You don't have to look like you're going to an old 97s concert in 1898 all the time.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's good. She's helped you. Do you think you'll ever wear like a tie? A shirt and a tie?
That goes to the runner.
No. Do you think you'd look good in a suit?
My mother died. I've worn a tie.
Oh, I don't know. You wear a tie to a funeral? Is that always guaranteed? I would just.
I'm the kind of guy that wears a tie to a funeral.
Yeah. I would probably wear a tie to a funeral. I still find fashion largely arbitrary and silly and stuff, but that's because I have a horrifying body. If I had a nicer figure and my shoulders were wide.
I think your attitude is the problem, Hank.
I think it's part of the problem.
You
yeah.
talk like you talk like you're covered in like boils and
I'm
completely disgusting. No. You're like, no, you do. You got a horrible body.
I do.
Like, that's no way to talk about yourself.
Okay, I have a body I would prefer not to have.
That's everyone in the worworld.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's relatable.
America, baby.
Why do you think my show's so popular? I would like to. I think there's something to be said.
Therapists should get paid more.
What is it human? I had a therapist for a while, and then when I learned I was autistic, I was like, I gotta get rid of that therapist. I didn't even hear what you said. What'd you say?
Don't worry about it.
Something that made you snort.
Replay.
That's fine. That's good. Good, James. Oh, I have a question for you, James. This is an interesting topic. I have 2 final questions.
I'll be the judge of that.
No, I'm the judge of that, bitch. 2 final questions. One's a big one though, and it's something I've been wondering about and thinking about in the world that we live in. And you're an entertainer. You could even possibly call yourself a storyteller.
Come on, you got it.
Right?
Spun a yarn or 2.
You're doing that, and so my question is, I'm also seeking people's attention. I want humans to turn their eyeballs and their ears and let whatever it is that's happening with me enter their ears and eyeballs, as you do when you try to
say it less like an alien, maybe.
No,
I want humans to turn their ear holes towards me, so there's like.
Excuse me. Respect my listeners' ear holes, all 8 of them, because 8 is double 4, and that means it's twice as funny. What is the value of human attention? What's so valuable about human attention? Let's have it. Let's hear it, James. Let's get some philosophy.
What do you mean? The question is not a good question.
No, that's fine. That's a fine answer.
I mean,
break it down.
What is so valuable about it?
About human attention.
So you're saying it is valuable. The question admits it is valuable.
You could deconstruct the concept of value if you choose.
I think I think it's valuable. We're social creatures. Mm-hmm. We're social animals. That's it.
The value of human attention is the social nature, the social exchange you get from it. I'm not trying to pick it apart. I'm just curious. What's going on when we watch a show and then some rich guy gets money?
That you don't look at me. I'm looking directly at you. You're looking at something else.
Because I'm looking at your face on my screen. I can move it over a little bit, but then it fucks up my goddamn placement. I just ruined it. Now I got to go edit that.
Okay, I'm just gonna do it like this. All right, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not sufficiently making.
I feel like I'm giving more.
Excuse me, I'm not a corpse. They make great eye contact. They never break.
And that's value of human attention.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you did a good job. You did a good job actually there. You sculpted. You cooked. You cooked. That was very lingo of you to do that. Thank you. I think it's fascinating that we have such abilities to influence each other via photons and light waves. That's all I got. And it somehow turns into money. We have a whole industry.
More of a pussies and tits, man.
Well, those are fun too. Unfortunately, those don't radiate at the same degree that photons and light waves. They travel at half the speed of light.
You gotta go to a different club.
I know. I can't handle that. I can't handle the sounds. Too fucking noisy. I could never do stand up. I don't think I could deal with the sound, the amount of this. It's just brutal on my brain. What? You broke up.
I could never do stand up.
I think I could get in like
stand-up.
The stand up environment is really rough. Indoors is hard. Grocery stores, the self checkout aisle at the grocery store is this orchestra of overwhelming noises and light and humans.
How long has this been this way for you?
It's been bad for the last like 4 or 5 years, but since understanding.
But you said you loved COVID.
Yeah, I didn't say loved. I might have used the word love, but I didn't love it. I felt fine. I didn't. It wasn't this catastrophic like.
Felt like some pressure was off.
In a sense, did you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I loved it in a way. The thing I loved about it was comedy stopped, so I felt all of a sudden, no one was doing comedy for a while.
Yeah.
So you could actually go on social media and not feel like you're comparing yourself to your actual friends. And I don't know. It felt like there was no pressure to do anything. That was kind of nice for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think a variety of reactions people had. Some were very stressed out by it, but some people really found themselves catching their breath for the first time in a long time.
Right. Yeah. If it had been like 3 months, that would have been perfect. Then there was a cure. That would have been great.
You know, we could have just funded everybody's life for 3 or 4 months and worked real hard on, proper healthy vaccine, and everything could have been okay. Yeah. Probably could have avoided it, but we're less prepared now for the next one. It's going to be so much worse.
Well, no, all we did was prove how much human carnage the capitalist gears are willing to grind.
Yeah.
And like people are lining up to do it, saying it's their freedom.
Yeah.
Capitalism really did a good job with this global.
Good ad sales, good ads run on those COVID hate videos.
They tricked people into thinking going back to work and dying was like the Boston Tea Party.
Don't you want the lunch counter to make money? Come on, the commercial real estate guy's poor. He wants you got to go to work. Yeah. I don't think I'll ever get a job though. I'm pretty sure it'll never happen.
Articus, they're like, I'm grist for the mill. Mm-hmm. I'm grist for the mill.
It's a nightmare society. Okay, so you did a great job answering the human attention question. Thank you. It's gonna be front and center in the documentary. My final question is: what's
this documentary about?
About human attention. I want to talk to interesting,
so
smart,
you're
thoughtful
just
people.
farming my labor.
Yeah.
Your profit.
Yeah.
You're no
profit.
better.
There won't be any profit.
I know documentaries are where the money is.
Will you watch the one? I'm going to send you a link, and I'd love to get your take if you watch it. The TYT documentary. It's really good.
Yeah.
I would like you to get your take on it.
Believe you, Hank. I think you're a very talented person.
Oh, that's nice of you to say. Honestly, I appreciate
enough?
that. Yeah, that's
enough to stave away the noose for another night.
Yeah. Oh, a night. Yeah. Yeah. I respect.
I respect
your takes.
Don't do it. Just don't do it right after I'm a guest on your show. I'll feel like I did.
No. No.
I can't live with that.
I'll take your name out of the note. Don't worry. You won't be burdened by that. You've caused enough harm to the world, James. I wouldn't want to curse you even more. Do you want a cat?
Oh, you looked right at me then. See, that freaked me out. Cat question.
James, free cat.
Wait, no eye contact toys. All show, and then you do you want to wait? Are you selling a cat?
Fucking cat? Not selling. Although I will take money. I will take money. I rescued a cat.
To get rid of a cat.
Yes.
Wait, is this a podcast just to get rid of a cat you have?
Partially, yes. I do think there's
not the worst premise for. Actually, that's a premise for a podcast.
It is a great premise. Honestly, it's a great premise.
It's very Hurley, boys.
I think it's a great. I don't even know what that is. This cat is fucking rad.
SNL bit where he'd be like, "Let the boy walk your dog."
Oh yeah, SNL. Not gonna. Sorry, I don't have a cricket noise.
Oh, you're too cool. I never watched SNL. I forgot how cool.
My least favorite part of political discourse is speculating about SNL, the upcoming SNL week, when people are like, the SNL this weekend. Oh, who's gonna play Kamala? Who's gonna play Tim Walz? Like Jim Gaffigan, obviously. But I do find that I do have a cat.
You hate it. You hate it, and you did it.
Yeah, that's right. That describes life.
Funny guy.
Do you want a cat? I literally have a cat. I need to
want a cat to host SNL.
You could play this cat if you get to know her a little bit. She's got a charm. She was dying. So you see this.
Oh, a sick cat.
No, she's not dying anymore. This bed right here that I'm touching with my finger, it is a warming bed. It's plugged in and it makes heat. So she loves that bed. You get that with the cat. There's a house below there. You get that with the cat. I got all kinds of cat toys. I got an electronic thingy that you can have with the cat. I built a double sifting custom cat box that turns out if you don't use it all the time, it'll attract bugs, and then the bugs will reproduce, and then you'll have fucking bugs. So I would recommend doing more with that. See? Bugs! Precisely. Look at the power James is enjoying with his soundboard. Do you know anybody in LA who needs a cat? Help me find a home for this sweet cat. I bet that I would be a cat guy, and I learned the hard way that I'm not a cat guy. I have a victim trapped in my room who deserves a better home. She was dying outside my building, and I started feeding her, and I couldn't deal with a dying cat. And then I realized very quickly that I had started a process. I would
say if you're trying to home this cat, I would not lead with the definitely ill.
She's not ill. She was ill. I didn't bring in
mention any illness. I wouldn't mention any illness.
Not the starving story. That's
trying to get rid of this. Are you trying to get rid of this cat?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to be like, hey, do you want an unlikable sick cat that will be a burden on you that I hate?
No, that's my dating profile. That's on my Hinge. Got
Hello. Unhinged.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Rehinged. A fixer-upped. Fixed up. Past tense. Okay? I'm serious. I don't know how to communicate with you because you don't have normal feedback routines. If you know anybody in LA who wants a lovely cat, I don't.
Really I told you.
Well, maybe it'll come up when you're talking to a coworker.
Are you talking to the audience now? Talk to the audience.
We are talking to the audience.
You should address me with this. Okay, but it felt like you were asking me
specifically. But you could be part.
And I was like, no. And you kept forcing the issue.
This is an opportunity for you to play a role in being an animal rescuer and helping.
This cat's death isn't on me.
No, I would never place it on you. You don't deserve that. You're my mentor.
Thank you.
Mentees protect mentors. That's the sacred rule.
I'm not your mentor.
Just ask Obi-Wan. So this cat, and then we will be done with this podcast.
My mentee would never Be that into Star Wars.
That's not true. That's not true.
It is true.
You look like you look like Ewan McGregor if he got hit by a bus. In a good bus. The handsome bus. You look like you fell out of the handsome tree and got scooped up by a bird before you could hit a single branch. You look like
a lot of food. I think the delivery driver's
on. No, but honestly, I would love to work with you on a project. I think you and I have great chemistry. We'll do great.
It's not a project, Hank.
I'm not talking about the cat anymore. I'm talking about making money. If you had your druthers, let's finish with here. Okay. Open invitation to anybody in LA who wants to just inquire with me. I need to get rid of this fucking cat. I can't stand having an animal in my bedroom. She's a wonderful cat. Truly nice. But yeah. I also am tired of being the guy trying to get rid of a cat. It's an annoying thing to be. I don't want to be a guy who has a fucking cat he doesn't want. But I cursed myself. I can't afford fucking food for the cat. I got to borrow money to buy the cat food. It's a horrible time, but I want to finish the good deed, right? It's fostering. We're doing great. She needs attention, and she needs somebody like my mom.
A wet, small grave the next time it rains.
No,
I'm just finishing the good deed.
That's all I'm trying to do, man. A dying animal outside my building, and I took her in, and she deserves a nice home. So anyway, to wrap it up though, if you could do any kind of show in the world, what would you do here in Los Angeles?
A show where like I beg people to take dying animals off my hands.
Yeah, that's a good show. I do actually think
like a Jerry Lewis teletalk.
Yeah, where you call people instead of receiving calls, you're actually dialing out to try to find a taker for the cat. Yeah, like that'd be fun. Actually, you probably would eventually find somebody. That would be good. I do think a show or a script or a movie. And you can help me write this. Do you want to get together at the coffee shop later? We'll write this. We'll work out the beats. Okay, I get 60%. You get 40. Okay, money. But a guy who gets on the dating apps to try to find someone to take his cat. Also another funny show. And he finds love, and maybe it turns out he needs to find love himself. But he's too much of a beardless slob to be worthy of it.
Pitch depressed me.
Yeah. Do you know anybody at Hinge that could fund that? Or at Bumblebee? Is that one of them?
Bumblebee?
Bumble? They got rid of the one where the ladies ask first, right? Didn't they make it so that anybody?
I don't know. I've been in a successful relationship for 7 years.
Yeah. Success. It's a good word. All right. Can I come to your wedding? Can I officiate?
No.
Are you going to get married? Do you believe in marriage? Do you need a third?
Marriage exists.
Fair.
You're trying to get away with it. You're trying to enter a throuple just to get away from this cat.
She comes with. I ditch her there.
No dice.
We make sweet love, and then you wake up next to a cat and you scream. That's how that one would go. James, you've been a true delight. We didn't do anything.
Size Me guy had podcasts like this. You're a documentarian now.
I'm trying. I want to be a documentarian. I want to make a documentary about entropy, where we talk to people about their work and their experiences.
Yeah, but you just can't. You just can't.
How do you make money? How do I
do it?
Do you know anybody that will give me money to finish my TYT documentary? I've been working on it for like over 2 years, 3 years, basically.
It's been a very long. Finished. You want me to watch an unfinished doc?
Yeah. I do.
It's just free time.
Yeah.
Okay, send me the link.
You'll love it. I actually know what I have.
I know. I will love it.
I know. You'll be proud of me because you're always proud. I know this is you hide behind that facade of
push it. You take it too far. Take it too far. I give you a compliment. You make it a creep show.
Yeah. It's called love, James. It's not creepy.
That ain't love, baby.
We're supposed to hug.
That's a dead
my heart to your cancer-ridden chest. Because your microphone light. No, but I will send it to you, and I have been kind of putting it like just start, see, eventually if you think to yourself, I need to check the clock and how much time has passed. Because you'll be like 12 minutes in and you'll be like, oh my God, I thought that was like 3 minutes. I'm a professional video editor. You won't realize how much time is passing because it's a gripping narrative. That's my
How
point.
long is this podcast going to end up being? Like 20 minutes?
Six more hours. I'm not going to edit this.
I mean, oh, you're great at it.
Yeah. I hate editing. I fucking hate editing. That's why I'm good at it, because I just try to do it fast and figure out ways to do it without. I fucking hate editing. My wrists don't hurt. So, I don't want to be a fucking editor. I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I like the storytelling.
We're all editors now. I didn't get into stand up to be a clip video editor. That's what we all are now. It sucks.
Okay, let's have a sincere moment here for the first moment of the show. Is it really? Because
all night.
It looks like a nightmare having to do fucking captions and editing videos and running. I mean, I'm trying to sort of make that shit do with whatever the hell I'm trying with my world. But
I get it.
Being a stand-up,
it's just what the world. It's what everything is now. Everything sucks. Everything is content. I mean, yeah. So what I loved about stand-up originally was that no one was filming it because I was old, and it felt like a moment in a room that you had with these other people. And now every show is like the stand-ups. There's 5 cameras set up for every comic to get tape, and yeah, I mean, it's just what it is now. It's the world. No one's happy, and everyone's taping everything.
Yeah, that's a great note to end on. I do want to talk more about that, but yeah, it does seem like a freaking nightmare. The tech stuff and then all the editing, like the original days. I said I wasn't going to talk more, but like
everyone trying to capture a moment and no one being in the moment.
Right. No? Any concert, any crowd event, it's all just hands up in the air with their cameras, and it's just like, fuck, man. Yeah. And I have that impulse in me. I relate to it.
We all do.
I fight it. I
try to have a rule with with shows. Like I'll take a picture, like maybe a little video clip of the first song.
Yeah, I was there.
Do it up top, and then phones away and get into it. I've broken that rule too, but.
Yeah. It's
we live in the world.
I always reconciled it as a comedian in starting in 2009, and I was like doing editing before that a little bit, but at least during that time I could at least be like, well, the comedians are the crazy attention whores that are looking for this nut. Like we can't help it. Like that's what you sort of got to do. That's just. But it turns out it's like fucking everybody. Not literally, but it's so far more widespread, and we're all have our attention spans completely wrecked.
Warhol said it forever ago,
It's gross. I filmed myself watering my plants, and I realized I must look like such a weirdo.
What that was gonna be.
It's my woodworking shop on my balcony. I spray them.
All right.
And I thought that would be fun to video that. Maybe a TikTok. Why am I? But I'm a guy there watering his plants with his camera. I just must look like such a freaking goofy weirdo. Just like, okay, watering my plants. I hate this world. I want to do comedian. I want to be author. I always thought the authors were the most like the best kind of like I get to write books. I get left alone every 3 or 4 or 5 years. I turn up at some conventions, and so maybe I make and of course the kind where you have
my choice. It's my choice if my face is even on the book or not.
Yeah. That always struck me as sort of like the sweet spot. But even at the low end of stand up, though, like people aren't even succeeding, but they got to be a whole production crew constantly. It seems like horrible.
Yeah, and then Roy Wood, some interview with him recently where he was like, I don't even know, like when I started, managers and agents, they saw someone talented and they were like, let's use our infrastructure to like make this talented person like a star and get their work to more people. And now they're all just like, oh, you need to have X amount of followers before we take you on. And it's like, well, what is even the point of them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Prove that you are a sure thing, and then we will make money off you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then I don't need you.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The notion of stand up, at least before the internet really got cooking, like we were when I started 2009, 10 or so, was probably when it was already dying off because the internet was already growing at that point. But you had this idea that if you became a successful comedian, you would hang out in some city and do shows, but your days were basically free. Maybe you had to do radio, or maybe you did a little bit, but like You just farted around, absorbed the world, and then you got to be really funny on stage when you went up and you made money doing that. I hate the idea that you'd have to like, okay, I got to make sure I get that social. Okay, which one? Oh no, I got a controversy on TikTok I got to put out. Oh fuck, I just pissed off. Oh, somebody took my. The internet is so gross.
Have to have 5 posts a day for maximum engagement on TikTok. I'm like,
oh god,
I wonder no working class fucking comics can make it.
Right.
Oh, I'm supposed to have work a job all day and then do 20 posts,
or hire some fucker like me to put captions and to edit your shit. Yeah. Seriously.
Again, I'm ancient. These kids grew up, with a phone in their hand. They can do this shit. They can edit video and caption it in 5 seconds.
That's true. That's true.
It takes me a whole day to figure out how to do like a 3-minute video.
Right. No, I get that. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, good stuff. Good positive ending. We had a great show. Thank you very much, James. Check out what's the new album? When are you taping and when is it coming out? What's it called? And do you want me to do 10 minutes?
I don't know all those things yet. It's very new.
Okay.
Watch this space.
Recording by this year?
Yeah.
Before the end of the year.
Yeah, trying to do it in Chicago.
Nice.
Hopefully at the Lincoln Lodge.
Great place.
Yeah. Oh, it's locked down. Lincoln Lodge, December 6th. I just haven't been announced.
Oh, okay. I'm not looking for a straight. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm just curious.
Scoop. This is gonna. I mean, it's probably gonna end up in the Hollywood Reporter, right?
Variety. Hollywood Reporter doesn't listen to the show anymore. Not since the lawsuit.
Oh, what'd you do?
Yeah. Well, I support all your efforts. Let's touch base again.
And follow me on Fritz is Dead on all the socials.
Fritz is Dead on the socials. I'll put links in the description.
Anything.
Any other?
Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you.
Yeah, it takes forever. Any other projects you wanna go on about? Anything else you want to mention?
Brainy Green.
Cat? I wrote a note. You want a cat? Fucking autofocus. All right, James. I hope this was satisfying for you.
So, Venmo me or?
Yeah. You can stare. You stare at your phone all night.
You're like a working class guy, right? You're like a champion of paying people for labor, right? And this.
Yeah.
I've seen births that were easy.
Where do you watch those? Can I get your login? Look at the cat. Look at the cat. She's stretching. See her stretch? Her tail is a little bit kinky. It's got a little in it. Probably from a cat fight. Wonderful appearance, James. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch. I'll send you your pay will be you get to watch my documentary. And you can pay rent with it. It's currency.
Okay.
So, how's that sound? All right. Good night, everybody. Fritz is dead on the internet. I mean, that's his Twitter handle and Blue Sky, and he's probably on Instagram. And you'll find all of his socials in the description. Let's do it again soon.
Hank.
Let's do it again soon, James. 5 or 6 years from now, we'll check in again. I'll still have my mustache. Are you hanging up?